is Flora Lau. I'm a filmmaker from Hong Kong. My first feature is called Bends. I started to write about this film right after film school in London. I wanted to write a film that's about the current situation in Hong Kong, because to me Hong Kong has changed quite a lot since when I was growing up. So I wanted to get sort of what is going on now, the current situation, the feeling of people there. So I started having two different characters. One is representing the sort of old world of the rich of Hong Kong, and then new world, which is the new Chinese immigrants of Hong Kong, and talk about these two groups of people individually and also of them together. So I've created these characters, and then the relationship is that of a chauffeur and an employer, because I think that they don't normally have much interaction in real life, and to be in a car together in an intimate space, I have more opportunity to describe their relationship in a more visual kind of way. So that was the start of my film. I started from there, and after...
What was your experience in film prior to that?
I went to the London Film School, so during the time that I was there, I made a few short films, and I've also worked on a lot of my friends' short films, doing mainly photography and camera work. So I pretty much started writing straight out of film school, and then I went to Amsterdam for this program called Binger. There are writing labs, and each year they invite 20 filmmakers from all over the world. It's sort of a residency.
So it's your first residency?
Yeah,
then?
in Amsterdam. So I spent 6 months there working on it. And after that, I had my first draft of the screenplay. And I kept on... After that, I went back to Hong Kong, and I kept working on it for another year. And by that time, I had 15 drafts. And that was when I started pitching the project to different producers, which...
How did you find them?
A lot of them thought it was interesting, but no thanks, because they said it was too risky because of the topic. And they also in Hong Kong, they felt like it's something that they see on the news. Sort of the topic of the new immigrants from China. So they thought it wasn't really worth making it into a film.
And how did you meet Agnes B?
So I pitched it to many people, and I got a lot of rejections. And then finally, the Hong Kong Film Fund said yes to put in 40% of the budget.
40?
Yeah.
Great.
And then
wow, that must have felt good.
Yeah. And then I also went to this pitching forum in Paris. It's with the Paris Cinema, called the Paris Projects. And they select, I think, also 20 projects from all over the world, and they basically set up meetings with different French producers for you, and then during those meetings you just pitch and pitch and pitch.
How long was your pitch?
Each meeting we would get something like 30 to 40 minutes with a producer, and then each day you have like 15 meetings or something for 3 days.
And she came to one of them?
And she didn't come, but the person in charge of Love Stream came, and he liked the project, and at this time we already have most of the budgeting in place, so they were the last one to join. I was very happy about that.
And then fast forward to Cannes and Certain Regard, your first film.
Yeah.
So how'd that come about?
Nothing really happened for a while. Then all of a sudden, everyone said yes, including all the financiers and and all the actors and cinematographers. They all said yes within probably 2 months' time. So then I was like, oh my God, shit, this is happening. So we worked pretty much nonstop from then. We had probably pre-production for 2 months. Then we were in production for 1 month. Then we were doing post-production for maybe 3 months. Then my producer said, why don't we send it to Cannes? And I was like, okay, I mean, let's try. That wasn't really, we weren't really expecting anything. We thought maybe we could get into not the main competition, not official selection, but they have a few other festivals.
The market to her.
Like Directors Fortnight, Critics Weeks, those smaller festivals that's connected to the main one. So we sent it, and I think a few weeks later.
Really, a few weeks.
I got a call. They said, we would like to invite you to official selection. And basically I couldn't speak. Like I was holding the phone, but like I couldn't say a word. I was
Under shock.
so shocked.
And how does it work then? Do they bring you over, or is it your expense or their expense?
It's our expense, so we had to find sponsors. So we were able to find a sponsor who put up majority of the budget for us to travel there.
And you went there with your main stars, or?
We went there with my 2 main actors, all the producers, and other crew members.
And then the day of the screening.
I was so nervous. Yeah.
1,200 people in the cinema.
Yeah, I was really, really nervous because it was not only my first time at Cannes, but my first screening of the film to more than just my producers. Because the whole time I was doing the post-production, I was showing it to maybe a few people to get some feedback, but that was it. Like, no one has seen it, not even my actors. So that was the first time for...
So you introduced it for like 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, I introduced this. The funny thing is, right before I was like rehearsing my sort of introduction speech, and my main actor heard me, and he was just kept on laughing. He was like, "Don't do that. Stop memorizing it. Just say it.
Yeah.
It's your film. You know
it.
about it. What are you doing? Why are you memorizing how you're gonna talk about the film?" So
Good advice.
So yeah, I was able to relax a little bit more after he said that, and we had a few drinks. That relaxed me a bit. And so the whole time I was sitting with the audience, just kind of like looking around and see if they would laugh at the jokes that I thought they would laugh at, or like cry at the moment that I think they should cry. But there are some surprises, I guess. Some places they laughed. I didn't think that they would laugh. And some people remember things or understand things a lot more than that I thought they would, because it is a social kind of issue. I thought that people, without knowing a lot of things about Hong Kong, they wouldn't understand, but it wasn't true at the end. So at the end, when the last credit rolled, people started clapping, and then people sort of started standing up, and I just didn't know how to react. I was like, oh, should I stand up now? Like,
Did you?
Yeah. But that was a really nice feeling. Yeah, that people.
A standing ovation, first film on Certain Regard. I'd say that's pretty impressive. And now you got chosen for a workshop.
Yes, now I'm going to the Cannes Residence program, which is, they have a place in Paris, and I will be with 6 other directors from different parts of the world and working on our own projects together and staying this flat in Paris.
And how do they do it? They give you the place to stay? Do they give you like a per diem or something?
Yeah, they do.
Great. So you can live on whatever they give you.
Yes.
Very cool.
And they give you access to a lot of the cultural events, museums, cinemas, other things.
And a lot of contacts.
And contacts, yeah.
Yeah. And how does it work? Do they, like, at a certain point, see the progress of what you're doing, or you're just left totally alone?
I think that they are pretty, they leave it to your own hand mainly. They will keep track of things, but I think they trust you enough to know that you're going to be doing work and not just, sit on your ass in Paris. So, yeah, they're pretty confident that we will be producing work there.
And what's your idea for the next project?
My idea for the next project, I want to talk about the young people in Hong Kong.
In what aspect?
I have a few different characters. One is from Nepal. There's quite a good amount of people from that community in Hong Kong, and they're sort of the sons and daughters of ex-soldiers who worked for the British Army when Hong Kong was a colony. So the film's going to be a little bit in the context of post-colonial Hong Kong. But I wanted to show from the young people's perspectives.
Great. So I see you in Paris.